Hey everyone, it's the ManWife here, and my wife is out of the house right now, so let's play some games. This is episode 1 of, well, however many videos I decide to make. I am a gamer and the husband of a med school student, and we thought it would be fun for me to create a channel devoted to my hobby of gaming. This is also a way to help me with some speaking issues that I've had, and it kind of helped me break out of my shell a little bit. In the future, I hope to bring you some content related to World of Warcraft, Path of Exile, Diablo 3, Torchlight 2, Skyrim, Civ 5, pretty much any game that I've enjoyed or am looking forward to. So this is the pilot episode, and I've got an activate Windows thing here, so I'm going to get rid of that real quick. This is the pilot episode, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been doing in Diablo 3. I haven't played Diablo 1 or 2. I have watched some YouTube videos of people doing some run-throughs, and it looked pretty good. In 2012, when this game came out, I was already a huge fan of World of Warcraft, so I was very much looking forward to Diablo 3. It just looked like a really fun game. So here we are 2 years later, and we're playing the expansion, Reaper of Souls. In the background, you'll see that I'm playing on my demon hunter named Lawnmites, and I'm running through a Torment 1 rift. And just a little note about this rift, I hate the Tileset of Caverns of Wherein. I can never find the exit, and especially if I'm running like some bounties or something, and I can't ever find the target, the bounty target, and I end up running, and it just takes forever. So typically if I see this in a bounty, I'll just reset the game. So the spec that I'm using right now is one that I've just kind of come up with. It's probably been used before, but I think I was using Bolus mainly when I was leveling up, and all my skills didn't make a lot of sense, so I thought I'd try to make some synergy. So what I've done is the first skill that I'm using is Grenade with the rune Tinkerer, which just gives me more hatred when I use it. I'm using Rapid Fire with the rune Bombardment, which makes me shoot out grenades instead of arrows when I use that skill. I'm also using Companion with the rune Wolf Companion, and you'll also notice that in the video I've got 3 wolves out, so I've got the Cloak of Garwolf chest piece, which allows 3 of those wolves to be out at one time. I'm also using Vault with the rune Tumble. That gives me some reduced discipline costs when I use Vault again after the first Vault. I'm also using Sentry with the rune Guardian Turret, which allows me to take 15% less damage when I'm standing within its radius. And that's pretty helpful whenever I'm facing a boss or an elite with a particularly bad affix, because still at this gear level in Torment 1, they can beat me up pretty badly, so it makes me feel a little bit more tanky. My last skill is Reign of Vengeance with the rune Anathema. And that makes it summons a little guy that drops grenades on the ground. I'm probably going to maybe try and use a different skill because, well, I'm pretty bad at this game, and my placement is usually pretty poor. And I'll place it on a rift boss or something, and the rift boss will port away or walk away, and the little guy doesn't move, and so he's just dropping bombs onto the ground and damaging absolutely no one. So it seems pretty useless at that point. So I might take a look at changing it around. Let's see, my passives are Tactical Advantage, which gives me a move speed increased after my vault. I think it's 60% for 2 seconds, and when I'm running rifts I find this really helpful. You'll see me vaulting around all the time. It just kind of cuts down on my clear speed. I'm also using Blood Vengeance, which increases my maximum hatred by 25 and restores any hatred or some hatred and discipline when I'm healed by a health globe. That's pretty useful. I think I might be able to find a better one. But that seems a pretty cookie cutter one, and there's really no downside, so I thought I'd pick that up. I'm also using Awareness because, well, I'm a baddie, and I will die, so that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Maybe when I can get some better gear, I might change that around. And the last passive that I have is Grenadier, which increases the damage of the grenades and the explosion radius. So that has some synergy with the skills I'm using, like Grenade and the Bombardment rune for Rapid Fire. As well as Reign of Vengeance, so it just kind of ekes out just a little bit more damage. So what I've been doing lately here is just farming rifts, and like I said, I'm in Torment 1, and that's I haven't tried Torment 2, and I don't know if I'm going to feel comfortable with that until I get a little bit better gear. But my goal is, of course, to get the Marauder 6 set. One of the streamers in the YouTube video guys that I watch is Ziggy D, and I enjoy watching his Marauder 6-piece playthrough of some rifts and whatnot, so I think that would be a lot of fun. So I'm having a blast on the Demon Hunter so far, so I can't wait to see what that looks like when I get a little bit better gear. I thought it would be interesting to keep a shard count of how many times I have to visit Kadala, pray to the RNG gods, that I get the gear that I want to drop. So far I've spent 1,035 shards on quivers. And specifically I'm looking for the Bombardier's rucksack, which is going to allow the sentries that I place, I can set up to 3 more sentries. I believe it's 3. It's 2 or 3. And that's not only good for the build that I'm using right now because of the passive damage decrease that I have from my rune, but later when I get the Marauders, that's going to be huge because all the Marauder 6-piece set allows sentries to use all of your hatred spenders, and that's gonna be really good. So I've spent 1,035 shards on that so far with no luck. I think I've got about 5 legendaries or so in that time, but none of them Bombardier's rucksack. I have found the gloves of the Marauder set, which actually kind of made me sad face because I'm looking for Tasker and Theo to use because sentries count as pets, and so those gloves are going to make my sentries attack faster. So I was kind of sad when I found the gloves, and I haven't found any of the other pieces yet. One note is a change to Kadala that they've made pretty recently. I just kind of found this out the other day when I logged on and played, that now they have increased the blood shard costs for all of the gear pieces, but apparently have also drastically increased the chance to find legendaries. So I've been seeing about 1 out of every 3 or 1 out of every 3 to 6 pieces of gear that I purchase is going to be a legendary, but the quiver piece has moved from 5 blood shards to 25 blood shards. So it seems about the same ratio when we're talking about blood shards spent to legendary obtained. I kind of like this way. I like seeing the orange a little bit more often, even though I don't get to spend as many at one time. It gives me an expectation of, oh, this really could be a legendary. So I kind of like what they did there. Some other pieces that I'm looking for are Crider Shot, which is a 2-handed bow that allows Elemental Arrow to generate 3 to 4 hatred as opposed to cost hatred. And that seems to be one of the best Demon Hunter bows, especially for this particular Marauder 6-piece set that I'm going for, because I will be using Elemental Arrow, and it's still designated as an hatred spender, and so my sentry should be using it too. At least I think that's the way it's going to work. The other piece, of course, is the Ring of Royal Grandeur, which is going to allow me to use 1 less piece on the Marauder set in order to grant the 6-piece bonus to me, so I only need 5 pieces. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. I've had some horrible luck in the past. I had a Softcore Demon Hunter, got the ring at level 69, and a Witch Doctor at Hardcore, get the ring at level 68. And to this day, I have not found a level 70 Ring of Royal Grandeur, but I know they increased the drop chance of legendaries out of the baggies, and even at T6, it's a 100% chance to get a legendary. So I think it's only going to be a matter of time before I'm able to get that piece. So in the background, you'll see that I'm just finishing up the Rift here, and no legendary, no Keystone of Trials, just a Forgotten Soul and some random loot, so that's okay. I have been picking up pretty much every blue and yellow that I see on the screen because I'm working on getting materials in case I want to continue to spend, because my gear is pretty terrible, and I'm going to have to get do a lot more enchanting and crafting, most likely, to increase my damage before I find a Marauder 6-piece set. And I'm having a little trouble here with the salvager. It looks like I had to go back twice to do that. And I'm just going to briefly show what gear I've got on currently, and you can pause the video if you want to and look at some stats. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to close the Rift down. And that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching, and like I said, I'm going to be bringing you some content from other games as well. And I really hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments or suggestions, I would appreciate it. And it looks like my wife's almost home, so I gotta go. Have a great day.